Yo, isn't it funny how we hate to be called liars, but yet we do it all the time, right? But that's not what we're talking about today about lying. What we're talking about is how we respond when people call us liars. That's what we're going to talk about today. Many of us, right, at some point in our life have been called a liar, right? We've been said that we were lying or we lied about this or lied about that. And a lot of us, it burns us up when people call us liars. Some of us, it burns us up because previously we were liars. Some of us really big and consistent liars, you dig? And others not so much. But when people call us liars, it rubs us the wrong way, especially if we're telling the truth. And we know in our hearts, we're telling the truth. You dig? So we're going to talk about that, being called liars, right? And how we should respond and react to that. You dig? Because when people call us liars, reacting is not necessarily the answer, but that's a lot of times what we do. But there's a way that we should respond, and we're going to talk about that today. Just because someone is not accepting of your truth and what you know to be true does not mean you're a liar. All it means is that their eyes have not been opened, their understanding has not been enlightened, and they're still stuck in the darkness. And it's our job and responsibility to lead them to the light if they want to be led. You did? We can't force nobody to believe us. We can't force nobody to accept our truths as their own truths. All we can do is offer them the truth and pray that they receive it, because we're walking in obedience and we're trying to share the truth with them so they're no longer walking in darkness. But now they're illuminated and they're also walking in the light, right? So the Bible says in chapter 15 of Mark, verse 16, right? And what he was telling his disciples is that, what he wanted them to do where the gospel is concerned. And this is what it says: "Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel unto every creature." This is our decree. This is what we're supposed to be doing, right? But what happens when people don't receive the truth that you're trying to give them? You dig? This is what was going on with the disciples. And Jesus had to have a heart to heart with them, you dig? As far as giving the truth and people receiving the truth, because it was starting to affect them. It was starting to affect their walk and how they dealt with people and how they treated and loved people and shared with people. And this is what Jesus told them in the 15th verse, you dig? He said, everybody's not going to believe what you say. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, don't let your heart get hardened, right? Don't have doubt in your heart of them receiving the word. You just preach it. Don't worry about if they don't believe you. You just speak the gospel and you just give your testimony of what God has did for you. You can't worry about if they receive it or not. You have to be obedient, and I have to be obedient in giving the word, giving our testimony. That's what preaching to the world means. Listen, we all are preachers. I didn't go to school. You may not have went to school, but the Bible tells us to preach what? The gospel, the good news about Jesus dying for our sin and raising so that we can be clean and restored to the Father. That's the good news we're supposed to be teaching and preaching through all the world. We don't have to have a degree. You don't have to have been to seminary. You don't have to have a title to preach your testimony. This is what we're called to do. Preach the gospel and your testimony of how God touched you, saved you, cleaned you, restored you, and now have sent you out an assignment. That is the gospel. And that is our testimony that we're supposed to be sharing with the world. And you don't have to have a title or degree to do that. All you have to have is a willing heart, a desire to see people set free, just like you and I were set free when we received Christ. That's all you need is faith in his word, a desire to see people set free and to speak the truth according to your testimony, what God has done for you. That's what we're supposed to be doing as preaching and teaching the gospel. You dig? You don't have to have a title and degrees to do that. You just need to have a willing heart, a sincere desire, and to be honest and true. Even if people don't receive you, don't accept you, and they call you a liar. Don't let that get in your heart. Don't take that to heart and start to have a hardened heart, right? And doubting that people are going to believe your word when you speak the truth in love. And they're not going to receive you, right? And then all of a sudden you start getting hard in your heart. Now you're starting to pick and choose who you want to share your testimony with. Come on now, talk to me. I know y'all have went through this because I have went through it. And I'm sharing the truth with you. And I'm hoping that you receive it. You dig? But this is something we all have faced. When we come with a truth and we go to share that truth and someone doesn't believe and they call us a lie, it makes us feel some kind of way. We start to get hard in our heart, right? We start to not want to share and tell our truth, especially to that person or people like them. But what did God say, right? He said, share, tell the world about me. Tell the world about this good news because they need to hear it. And if they don't receive it, what did he say in the next verse? Some people are not going to believe you. Some people are not going to receive what you say, but that's okay. You just keep it moving. You go to the next. And for every 100 people that tell you, no, get away from me, I don't want to hear that, that's a bunch of garbage, you ain't nothing out here, but for every 100 people that tell you that, at least one person is going to receive him. That's a win. That's a win-win. If one person receives the good news and receives Christ, we have done our job. You dig? We have went out there and we have told the truth. Regardless if they believed us or not, we told our truth and we stand on that. And that's what we are called to do. That's all we can do. You dig? So don't get discouraged when people call you a lie. When people say, you lying, that ain't the truth, that ain't how it went down, that didn't happen, that blah, 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 blah. Look, don't let that harden your heart and cause you to shut up and not want to tell your truth and share your testimony. You be obedient and do what God has told you to do and watch the blessing, because the blessing follows obedience. You dig? One love. This your man, Levon. Just coming real quick on this Wednesday. On Wednesday, it's Hump Day. Y'all know what day it is. You know what I'm saying? Go shed that light. Go shed that love and tell somebody about the gospel of Jesus Christ. One love. Your man, Levon. I'm out. Remember, Lamella E, love, uplift, motivate, inspire, learn, laugh, encourage, and enlighten. LamellaE.com. Go get your merch. Share this video on all your platforms. Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you dig my content. One love. Your man, Levon. I'm out.